Welcome to the darkness.
Hello. Hey, Celeste, your camera is off. We can't see you.
She's in the void.
There we go. She's in the darkness. She's going to read. Hey, Mud Lover. Yeah. Hey, Pac-Man. Our new opener segment there is brought to you by Midnight Lycanthropy, Lord Starfox. He did that for us. He's amazing, and we love him to pieces. Yeah. So Celeste came over today, and she didn't fry my computer, so that's a good thing.
I tried really hard.
Well, we couldn't get anything to work right.
No.
Which, of course, was Celeste. So, but we did figure out a way for her to actually be able, hey, David, to be able to upload videos. Now I'm just going to have to help her through the upload part because it's just nothing was working for her. Go figure. The lady who breaks every phone.
It never happens to me. I'm just always so good with technology. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And right before the show, I went outside because I'm checking on the animals quite frequently because of what's going on around here. Right. And so all the goats were in the very back of the pasture. And so I'm kind of spying on them, trying to figure out what they're doing. And I'm a little hinky nervous right now about stuff. So it's funny. I did my whistle for them, and all of the goats and the donkey just came tearing in as fast as they could. By the time they got to the gate in the paddock at the barn, they're going, just like me when I run. Awesome. Hey, Pac-Man, let's see. Oh, she's listening in the other room. Tell her hi. Did I say morning? Evening? Morning. Oh, you said morning, Dave. Okay. So I thought tonight what I would like to do, go ahead and submit your questions for readings at any time. You guys know that you can do that. You don't have to wait to a particular time. So what I thought we would do is go ahead and talk a little bit about our investigation at ISU. Jess and I talked about it on our Monday show. So if you want to watch that, the live stream from the investigation at ISU last Friday is still up. We're never taking that down. It's on our live tab. So you can watch that. But so then Jess and I talked about the investigation from her perspective on Monday night. And I would like Celeste and Susy to talk about your perspectives and how you read the building and your overall take of the investigation and the people we made contact with.
Well, that's a lot of questions all at once.
Well, they loved Susy.
What?
They loved you.
Oh boy.
Oh Lordy. Yeah.
Well, especially
to death if they could.
Yeah. Okay. Overall impressions when you walked up to the building. This was the administration building on campus in Pocatello.
Mm-hmm. Me, when I was like helping you with the equipment come in, like I was already getting the funhouse effect. It looked like that building was literally bending outwards to me. And that's an indication to me that there's a lot of energy in there, you know.
Like it's lurching forward, like it's going to lurch on you?
Bending, like it was like leaning towards me. And I was
leaning,
like, oh,
yeah.
boy. Yeah, like everything looks kind of warped when I get that funhouse effect and there's a lot of energy. Like the walls will be misshapen to me and stuff. So that's kind of what I was feeling off from it as soon as we were walking right up. How about you, Celeste?
Well, I have not been in that building for a long time. I'd heard it was extremely active. I was actually just a little bit surprised they let us get in there. And I've been on a lot of investigations. I don't know that I've ever been on one that had activity non-stop for
Yeah.
Nonstop.
hours.
Hours.
Non-stop. And it wasn't one thing. There were 5 things. There were 10
Mhm.
things. There were 3 things. I mean, it just, and it didn't drain me, which I was kind of surprised as consistently going as everything was. There were some really special energy.
Mhm.
I was going to say people. A few of them I don't think are people. I mean, I don't think that they're demons or anything like that. I think they were really horrible, horrible people. So I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it was pretty edgy, some of the stuff, but it, never have had just constant,
Yeah.
everybody was getting stuff. The devices were going off, the recordings, the dowsing rods, and it was matching up. And I don't
Mhm.
know. It
I
was
have
amazing.
never. So, and that's funny that you bring that up because actually Jesse had to remind me this Monday because there's a lot of apps out there for cell phones for ghost hunting, and most of them they're just fun. They're just fun stuff. They don't really mean anything.
Mhm.
Every app that every person was using in that building was not only consistent with what we were getting from the spirits, they were consistent with each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were
They were
literally.
either getting the same words or the same information.
Yep.
Yeah.
Across the ghost talker on the phone apps, across the spirit box, the dowsing rods, and just what like me, Gina, and Jesse were receiving, like the things we were hearing. It was crazy. So yeah, that I mean, like you guys, we usually have that lull, halfway through the investigation where everything just kind of dies down. That never died
Never
down.
happened.
Mm-mm.
It never happened in this building. So we get in. We took all of our gear up to the 3rd floor. We were locked into the building. So there was just a couple of janitors in the building down on the 1st floor, maybe 2nd floor or 1st floor. We were on the no, we went up to the 3rd floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then we really started on the 2nd floor with the ballroom. Was that right?
The ballroom is on the 3rd floor.
The 3rd floor. Okay, thanks. So that's where we started, was in the ballroom area. Kind of the hallway around the front of the ballroom is now offices, so they're locked. But Susie was getting hits of a young lady that jumped from the balcony. Now, this building, I looked it up. I looked up the history of ISU, but so it wasn't necessarily the building, but the building was it was a dance hall, like World War II dance hall for a while. A lot of dances in that building. So it was not always the administration building. A lot of different things. It was a dorm. It was a dance hall. It was all kinds of stuff.
Didn't someone say the student union building at one point?
Oh, that's right. Not dorm, student union. You're correct. It was a student union. So Susie, you're getting a hit of this young lady. You made a contact with her immediately.
Well, I did actually, because I had a conversation with Celeste on the side because I was kind of worried some of the dreams and the things that I was receiving before had to do with me. And I was like, maybe I better double check with Celeste, see what her gut says. So I had a dream about someone passing away. I'm not going to say who it was, but the age was off of the person that passed away. And I thought, no, this can't be right. This is all the night before we went, right? And so that was strange. And then in the morning, I got a mistaken email from an estate planner that says, hey, our email is going down. If you need to contact us, call us. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. What estate, who am I planning for? Who's dead, right? And so, and then also driving on my way in there as I was talking to my daughter about what was going on. And I was like, hey, this has been happening to me. Don't freak out, but she's going to freak out. Then as soon as I get done telling her, we look over and there's a deceased owl on the side of the road. And if you guys know anything, the audience, about owls, for some cultures, it's an omen of death. I don't think so. But the fact that the poor thing was dead too, right after I got done telling her about that, I was like, oh, okay, that's three. That's three things. And then as soon as we went upstairs into the ballroom area, I was drawn to that corner back there. And I walked back there with my daughter. And let me tell you, I put my hand on the glass of the door that led out to the balcony. And it was just like I was punched in the gut. And I saw her in her ball gown, with the blonde hair pulled up and crying and upset, and then just going out there and just jumping off. And then come to find out that we said it was something similar to my name. And I was trying to find some name similar to my name, but it turns out that she shared the exact same name as me. So that's why I think that I contacted with her the night before we even went. And she was actually very, very talkative about the situation.
Mm-hmm. So you have things that come to you before a building, before we go, Celeste? I know Susy does for sure.
Yeah, no, and especially the death stuff. I didn't have the death stuff, but it was interesting because I picked up that the girl who jumped was pregnant, and that kind of played into some of Susy's dream as far as things that had happened in there, and then the name matching. It was very interesting. But yeah, no, I get lots of premonitions too. I didn't get the ones that she got at all. Just I always go in very cautious, and I always go in loaded for bear, and that means that I've put out protection for everybody in our group. You just never know, and we did run across some you just never know energies.
So we're gonna go. Let's go piece by piece through the investigation. Remember, audience, you can ask your questions for a reading anytime you want. You don't have to wait for 7:30 anymore. You don't have to wait for a break. You just fire up those questions and we'll read while we're discussing. So we did make contact with 3 ladies upstairs, right? And they said that they met each other after death. They did know each other alive. They came together upon death. What was that?
My dog.
Okay. I'm like, I'm kidding. So I'm like, okay, was that in my house or was that on the screen? So, which I find pretty fascinating when they do that. I think that's rather cool. I hope I have a gaggle of friends on death, So and then Jess was getting really hard hits about a student because she'd felt it while we were working the ballroom floor or ballroom area, that a young lady had fallen over the balcony of the inside stairwell, the big marble stairs, that she'd fallen over because the floor was wet and it's like marble. So it's really would be slick if it's wet, that she went over the balcony and tumbled all the way down. And that the fall didn't kill her, but she died soon after. So we go from the ballroom to those steps. And boy, was that young lady front and center. How did you guys did you also pick up on that?
Yeah, I was with Jess talking to her about it at first because I said someone slipped on water, something wet in, like wet shoes from winter on the steps. And then we were talking about it, and I told her, I said, she didn't die here either. She died at the hospital.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you and Jess.
We were just talking about it. And then I had to step out for a minute because sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. And so I'm like, step back for a second.
Yeah. Celeste, what did you pick up on that one?
That was the one where there was an L in the name. And that was confirmed on the dowsing rods. And then that we learned that most likely she was not an American citizen or not an American student. And she wasn't very old. She had to have spoken some English, which most people from other countries do speak English, but it still didn't it seem like it was like mid 1900s or like after like 1950-ish. It wasn't like
It wasn't
recent.
super early. It wasn't
Yeah,
super recent. It wasn't around 1900. So I would say
right.
mid-century. Yeah.
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 And yeah, no, she was very eager to talk, but I could feel sadness around her, and we'd
Mhm.
asked if she wanted help to cross over, and she did not. So I don't know if the ladies all just kind of it's strange to try to understand, because some are so stuck in their moment, and others like are able to interact with each other, because the ladies on the inside of the building, um they were all from completely different times as well,
Yeah.
but they kind of seemed to be friends or be associated with each other. With the gentleman, I use that tongue in cheek, that we ran across, I would think it was a very good idea for the female energy to stay
Mhm.
together.
And then so we worked with her a little bit. And then we moved down to the second floor. And that is where the professor came through, yeah?
Was
Was
it?
that
Yeah,
was it the second floor? Yeah, it was right after
was
we
it the
worked with
second or the third? I think it was the second.
Ballroom.
No.
No.
Was it?
No, because we'd
No,
moved.
because we'd moved.
Oh,
Then
okay.
we
Yeah.
worked with the Chinese student, and then we'd gone down another floor. So I
Mhm.
think the second floor, so I talked to the ladies when I had to go up to the College of Technology today to hand off the paperwork for the class. And I told them all about the investigation because they were just like, oh my God, we wish we would have gone. And I like, this building is off the hook. You guys got to go with us next time. And I told her everybody that was coming through. And I said, do you keep files on students who've passed away as far as like if they've gotten injured on campus and then they died? And they said they don't keep those records.
Mm-mm.
So, because I said I really would like to find out more information about this young lady. And she said, we just don't keep those records. But then I did tell her about the professor that came through. And they were just like, are you kidding me? I said, yeah, we were floored because it usually doesn't happen so soon after someone passes.
No.
Do we say his name? I guess we did it during the live, so might as well. Yeah. Because it was a very respectful conversation. It was Dr. Meldrum who came through on the second floor, blew us out of the water because I think Susy, somebody said there's a gentleman down lower because we're on the third floor saying he's very matter of fact.
Mhm.
He's very cut and dry. He's very matter of fact. Yep, Pac-Man, I knew you'd love this. He came through front and center on the second floor. We were not expecting that at all. We were not.
I loved how he was science,
Mhm.
not this paranormal garbage.
Right.
Yeah, when I asked him those paranormal questions, he was like, no.
Whatever. I know. And so I was able to have a conversation with him about Bigfoot, challenge some of his theories, ask him about things that, other Bigfoot researchers are saying. He's like, no, no, no. He was this is the way it is. He was very much
He
like
was in
this.
life. That's exactly how he was in life.
And I never met him in life. I just saw him. So isn't that funny? So Pac-Man, what do you mean? Let me know what you mean, because was he a matter of fact guy in life? I don't know.
Very much
Was
so.
he?
Mhm.
Okay. I never took any classes from him, so I don't know. But anyway, I was blown out of the water. He talked with us for quite a while, and then Celeste talked about who came through.
Lynn.
Lynn, our beautiful
Yes.
Lynn. She started Ashley said, oh yeah, he was very, very matter of fact. It was amazing. So if you guys did not watch us live, the live video is still under the live tab. You can watch the whole investigation from top to bottom. And trust me, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
We did get a disembodied voice.
Answers, huh?
Huh?
What?
I said they'd be really interested in a lot of those answers that we got. So go
Yeah,
watch.
if you are followed Meldrum or cryptids, Bigfoot or anything, you want to go watch this video, particularly when we get down. Oh gosh, it was probably what, eight-ish when we got, that was about the time frame when we started, when he came through. We were not expecting this. We did not
No.
expect this. Usually when someone passes, they don't come through so quickly.
It
So
depends, but it's not as
not
common
common,
for
not
them because
common.
there's like some transitioning that
Yeah,
most
well,
have to do,
like
but
my
some
dad was
do
back in my
come right
house, I
through.
think 3 days.
Mhm.
My mom took 20 years, right? So 3 days. Anyway.
Well, and Lynn, I think she was coming to go, I told you so,
I know,
Colleen.
because she loved Dr. Meldrum and she was front. And so I'm like, are you hanging out with the doc now? She's like, yep. So that was pretty cool. And I had to really work hard at not crying when Lynn came through, because if you guys don't know Lynn, she started this group with me 15 years ago. And the things the spirit box was catching and the apps were catching about Lynn.
Yep.
Just because they, when I was talking with Lynn, they were saying best friend and all of the stuff. I mean, it was just, oh God, it was amazing. So.
And then when you told her that you loved her, and what did she tell me to tell you? Copy.
Yeah. She would say that to me in life. Like, copy. Yeah. She was a prison guard for 20 years. So that's radio lingo. And yeah, she would, there was a few other phrases that she said during the investigation that I'm like, oh my God, that is so Lynn. That's so Lynn. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
confirmed that she'd come to help Zephyr cross. So
Yep.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because
And Eddie.
I had seen her. Yes, Eddie. She loved Eddie too.
Oh my God.
And
she did.
shortly after that is when I think I sent them to you. I'd found my pictures from about a year or more before that. And there was a really good one with her and Zephyr, and then her and Eddie, and she had her little turbany head cover on.
Yeah. Yep. So it was so interesting because normally on our investigations, our own friends and family don't come through. We're working the building or we're working a client's house. We're not working for us. And it was just like, okay, so now we get down to, hey, Trista. Now we're lattes tonight. I like that. I love lattes. Now we get down to the first floor, the dark floor, the dark hallway. So there's one hallway. So the way you come in the building, right? There's the north side and the south side. And the north side, just like the other building, the north side, it's the north side in those buildings. Very, very dark energy in that hallway. And we set up a lot of equipment. Now our RIM pods and our K2 meters were hitting in some places of the building, not like they did down there. They went bananas in that hallway. And we were trying to debunk it. Like, could it be, was it this? Was it that? Could be interference. I don't know that we could debunk what was going on with the K2 meters. And then the RIM pods weren't hitting at all at first. Why don't you guys talk about who came through?
Go ahead.
Well, this was something that I had talked about. I think I don't remember, I just told Colleen or I told the class. And we've researched it since. But in 1975, one of the staff members of ISU was murdered by her husband in the administration building. And she didn't really come through. I don't blame her. I hope she's in Tahiti in heaven and enjoying, the eternal life. But her lovely husband came through. And I think he loved every one of us as much as he loved her. He was one of the, and I know that he is human, and he was one of the most angry, evil, cruel, awful, awful people. It was almost funny how rotten he was. I was telling Colleen today, I said, definitely a psychopath, a sociopath, because that man had no empathy for anybody. He called Susy names, told her to die, told me to die in my sleep, just all those kinds of just horrible people. I don't know.
Same one that was touching both Katie and I. He kept touching her on her backside down lower.
Yeah, but that was a different hallway. That was a different guy.
Yeah, it was a different guy. That was a different guy than that one. You're right.
Yeah. This guy.
But he was a scumbag too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, different kind of scumbag though.
Yeah.
This guy's name was he's passed away now. So wasn't her name Patricia?
The last name was Cobb. I think it was Patricia.
Yeah, let me
Cobb.
look. I have
his name was Lloyd.
His name was Lloyd Cobb, and Patricia, Pat. She went by Pat. She worked in the administration building, and that's who he killed. He shot her, and he did less than he got. They pleaded. They got it. He did plead not guilty. In order for him to plead guilty and save the state the money for a trial, they got it down to a second-degree murder charge, which is not a premeditated murder. And Susy and I were talking about this. There's no way it wasn't. He went to that university with a loaded weapon to take her out. That's premeditation.
He shot her point blank. It even says in the paper he shot her point blank. More than once, wasn't it? It was like 2 times, or
I can't remember, but oh my God, this state is just so lousy with prosecuting violent people. So even back then, nothing has changed. So he did less than 12 years and he got out. And then he died 2 months later, which was the only saving grace of all of that. He didn't get to enjoy any freedom. He was already sick when he got out of prison. But in order to save the state money for not going through a trial, he agreed to plead guilty if they reduced to a second degree, which, God, we have a lousy criminal justice system here. It's so bad in Idaho. It's so bad. Anywho, he was very, very angry. So there was this long hallway we're in, and then there's a doorway, and then another stairwell for the back stairs, and then an outside door. We put a shadow detector in the door jamb so that it's not wide. It doesn't have a wide angle on it. It's just you break the beam. So we put a shadow detector in the doorway, and then we had the REM pod behind it. We had a REM pod in the middle of the hallway, and then we had all the K2 meters spread out. And he was breaking the beam. He was pacing. He was so angry at us. He was so angry at us because we're calling him out. Yeah. He doesn't want to cross over because he doesn't ever want to atone for his actions. And, I hope Pat is resting somewhere and having a good time. And so not a nice man. So then there was,
I was going to say, I think his mental state is still as twisted as it had been then. And he was scared to face potential consequences. But what he didn't realize is by staying there in limbo, he's created his own hell instead of, owning up to what he did. But he did not have 1 ounce of remorse.
No. Yeah, Pac-Man, her name was Pat. I think it was Patricia, but she went by Pat. And there's several articles online that you can look up. His name was Lloyd Cobb and Pat Cobb. Anyway, I feel very sad. I do know that according to one of the articles, they had a son and he was moved to Pat's sister's house, I believe in Connecticut, to be raised. So I'm hoping that he was able to leave Idaho all behind him and that he's having a wonderful life on the east, in the east somewhere. And because I can't imagine. Anyway, so Susie and Katie went over to the south hallway where there was yet another creeper. And then we
Yeah.
moved over there. So tell us what the creeper was doing.
So we could just kind of sense him, and then Katie had wandered over there just on her own, and she was hearing whispers. So she quickly got me, and I went back over there, and we started talking to him. She was using the dowsing rods, and I was using the ghost box, and he did not like me. He was literally hissing, and I've never heard a hiss come through the ghost box. That's something you just don't hear. He kept hissing at me, and then when I'd ask him questions, who are you and stuff like that, he was telling me to go die and to F off and all this other stuff. And I was like, really? And I'm like, would you ever, huh?
Was he the one that called you a psycho, or was it the other guy?
No, he was the one that called me a psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was calling me all kinds of names to rile me up, and I was just laughing. I thought it was hilarious, but he was really, really interested in the younger girls. He was interested in Katie. He would say nicer things to her, but not to me. And then Celeste joined us, and then he was telling her that she could go die in her sleep. And then we had Leanne show up over there, and then he was talking real nice to her, except for some parts where he mentioned I don't know if I should really these, but he mentioned some parts that he would like us to expose to him.
Yeah, he was
nasty. He was really, really nasty.
And didn't that word that he used come up on more than one of the devices at the same time?
You guys can watch the live. Yep. It's there, so you can watch the live.
His also to me was, I'll meet you in your truck, and I was like, try it, bozo.
He was definitely a creeper, Trista. Trista has a question. She would like a reading. So, also, so while we were, but he was an interesting dude, because we got the sense that he maybe really wasn't violent, but he was a peeping Tom type of dude.
Yeah, pervert
kind of guy.
But we did sense that he went to prison, though.
Huh?
Didn't we pick up that he went to jail for a while?
But we don't know on what.
Yeah.
And that he wouldn't tell us how he died. He was holding those cards real close to his vest. He didn't want to communicate, but his language and speech was California Valley Girl. It was yo dude, and he was totally and I'm like, well, did you go to California? No. You grew up here? Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're a wannabe. You didn't like what's going on? He was so weird. He was an interesting creeper. So I have a feeling, and I told the ladies in the office today, I said, when I drop off the paperwork, I said, if any of you experience, your hair being touched, or you have that feeling like somebody just reached out and touched your arm or your neck, I said, that's the creeper. That's him. I said, just tell him, back off, just go away.
That was the one that was touching Katie and I.
Yeah. So it was such an interesting investigation. And okay, I'm going to go ahead and hear somebody concentrate on Trista's reading.
Yeah, I loved how the janitorial staff was still working while we were there. And the person who was cleaning was singing at the top of their lungs. And everybody's like, why are they singing so loud? And it's like, probably to drown out these things in this building. But literally, was almost screaming, singing.
Right. It was, she had headphones on, and then she was just belting out the tunes, which I love. I love that. But also, we did get a disembodied voice on this investigation. We all heard it. It was yes. I think it was the word yes.
Perfectly answered a question. It was like a perfect timed response. and an appropriate response. And one of the people, I think it was Maggie, wasn't it, that got it on the
Yes.
recorder?
She got it on the recorder. So hopefully we get it on the live stream. I haven't gone back to check, and I'm going to start working on the live stream tomorrow. The ISU would like an investigation video of this building. They're very interested in what we found out in this particular building. I know it is crazy and awesome. Trista, I'm telling you, it was one of the most active buildings, not the most active, but certainly one of the most active buildings I've ever worked.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
it's
just
right up
the
there.
nonstop. It just was nonstop.
Top 10 investigation in my book, I think, so far.
Imagine if we were able to get into any of those big offices instead of
Oh, I know, right? Hope maybe we can. Maybe if they see the video, they'll, because I'm going to ask to come back if we can. I don't know if we will be able to, but man, it would be cool. What do you have, Susie? You have a reading?
Yeah. So the universe is letting me know that you are you've been spending that time in nature and that time quiet contemplating. It's very aware of that and it fully supports you. Says that the decision that you're starting to put into motion, because I've got 2 cards of decision here, that's going to be bringing you peace. You're going to be moving into calmer waters and things are going to balance out for you. So I know that's really vague, but I do know that that's going to resonate for you. But also that don't worry about having enough. You're going to be just fine. From the choices that you make, you're going to have plenty.
Cool. That's good. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, if you haven't, so this again, for people who don't know, who's listening or watching, this is part of a class that we teach every fall semester at ISU. We do a 5-week course. Used to be 6. We've pared it down a little bit, where we talk about how to do an investigation, how to set up your equipment, how to debunk things, because that's a big part of investigations. Is it really happening, or is it, how to debunk stuff? And then the last night of class is always the investigation that we set up somewhere on campus. So this is the 3rd building we've done. We've done Gravely Hall a few times. We've done Fraser. We've done now the admin building. So I know.
Well, the Roy F. Christensen, where we do the class, we do things in there and get activity constantly too.
Yep. Hi, Day. We get activity in every single building there, but you have to remember there's a graveyard. There's a graveyard right next door to the university. There was the old Manic Hospital right there at campus. That's now gone, but all of that energy is still there. The campus was used for World War II activities and training, and barracks. So there was all of this stuff going on. It is a pretty fascinating place. There's so much going on there. And then you have even up to the current students that maybe have passed. And just like Dr. Meldrum, who came through, which just was mind-blowing to us. I never had a chance to really discuss, thank you, human. And yeah, I'll tell you, Mud Lovers, like, what a great investigation. Absolutely, it was off the hook. We had a lot of fun. I didn't want to leave at 10, but we had told security. We started at 6. I think we got there like a little after 5. We started at 6, and I told security we'd be out by about 10, and I could have worked more. I really wanted to keep going, but
I was going to say, you usually are tired and worn out, but as much as going on, I don't think too many people felt overly drained or overwhelmed so much like we've gotten in other places.
Yeah, that's
no. Usually it exhausts me. Sorry, Susie.
Oh, I was just going to say, Katie told me that she wasn't drained either, even though she was touched and.
I was more disappointed that we couldn't find anything open to go eat at afterwards. Like, this town closes up too early. Damn it. We need a 24-hour diner. Yeah, we would have gone somewhere, because it was one of those, you get out of there and you're still amped.
Mm-hmm.
You're still, we had battery drain.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Yeah, we just have so much fun. And just a shout out. So Dave, you'll see he's in the chat, and his name he goes by Doc on our other show. So he's on some of our other shows here on this channel. He and his wife and friends have set up Magic Valley Paranormal, which used to be another spinoff of Pocatello Paranormal years ago, but we weren't finding the right fit for continuing the team over there. Well, hey Dave, they've set up Magic Valley Paranormal. They're running with it, and we will be live streaming. And of course, Magic Valley Paranormal is going to be live streaming. They have an investigation coming up on the 24th, and so a few of us from the team, because they have their own team, we're just bringing over some equipment and kind of helping them set up the first few investigations. They're going to take it and run with it, but we will be live streaming as well as Magic Valley Paranormal. So it's going to be online on the 24th. You guys will be able to see it. So a very active location over there. 24th at 7 p.m. Yes. AM or PM? I think it was PM. Anyway, I think it's PM, Doc. I'm not getting up at 5 to come over there to go investigation. I'm just telling you. Anyhow.
Not this Friday. We're not doing
Fridays,
this, but next Friday.
the 24th, yeah.
Okay.
Is that, yeah, because I think I told Celeste the wrong date too, because of my mind, since I've been furloughed, I can't, like, my brain is mush. Okay. Anyway, PM, thank you, Doc. All right. Again, David with the AM. Again, David. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's going to be fun. So there's a few of us going over there. I think Celeste said she had commitment, but Susie and Andy and I will be over there.
How late are you going to be running it, David? Because, well, I have a wedding. But it's like if it's going till 10 or 11 or you never know. Maybe I'll.
Yeah, I probably will bail out about 10. I turn into a pumpkin pretty early because it's a 2-hour drive to get home. Yeah. And I got to leave the mutts outside while I'm gone. And the old man is getting all stoved up now. So with the cold, I don't want to leave him out too long. Anyway, let's see. Please ask for your readings, guys, if you want a reading. That's what Susie and Celeste are here for. Have you guys felt anything? And maybe it's just me, because as long as we can and we're getting activity, Doc said, is about how long they're going to investigate. Yeah. Are you guys, maybe it's just me because of the chaos of being furloughed right now, but are you picking up on more of a worldwide energy, or at least of just like chaos right now? And it's like somebody's got to stop and get off this carousel and make things slow down. Mm-hmm. Ashley would like a reading. Celeste, do you want to work on that one?
Sure. I don't know if you're thinking of making some changes. It feels like possibly around work. I don't know if there's another opening that's coming up or something you've been contemplating. I don't feel like if that is, I don't know if that is something like you're hoping happens quickly. I feel like there could be some changes coming more toward the end of the year or the first of the year. As far as that goes, I feel like that because of the hours, that maybe that's wearing down on you. I don't know if that's something that you've thought about a lot, but I feel like this is the perfect time to manifest a change. That's the only thing I can pick up on, that it would possibly be related to work or something of it feels like work. I don't know if you have something specific in mind, but I I feel like you're really good at what you do. I don't know that there's options for different shifts or if that would be even, something that would work out for you. But keep your eyes open because there's, especially when we get around the holidays, it there's a lot of different opportunities. But right now, also, we're hitting manifesting is been coming easier, at least for me. But a lot of people are wanting a lot of changes or they're feeling all this chaotic energy. And it's not just right here. It's the world is in a chaotic funk and there are shifts and changes happening that aren't necessarily specific, but I think right now everybody should just buckle up and be open to going with the flow because the shifts that are changing are more positive. And it's not going to be like in 15 minutes, but the more we focus on what we want instead of what we're upset about, what we're afraid of, what we're worried about, that's the energy we're going to attract to ourselves. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. There's also in astronomy world, astronomy. I can't say that word tonight.
Astrology or
No,
astronomy is
astronomy. God,
planet.
I was just like, it didn't sound right when it came out of my mouth. A comet. There's a comet going through right now, and it's going to be visible for like 2 weeks. And I think that kind of does stuff to shake things up a little bit when you have that shakeup of energy. It's a big one, and it's moving through. It's supposed to be really visible. But, of course, it's always cloudy here at night. So
I was going to say there's so much crazy things happening in the universe. We've had the planet parades and we've had the eclipses and the, solar and lunar. And it just, it's like a big shakeup right now. It's like somebody shook the can of soda and we're waiting for the fizz to go down.
I know 2025 has just been chaos and loss, and it's just been a weird year. So, what you got, Susie? Got something for Sherry?
Yeah, for the next few months, I'm feeling family all around it. You're going to have a lot of good times with family. I also feel a new beginning with a family member and a reunion of a sort. It's like you guys can't stay away from each other. There's a magnetic pull between you and this person. I feel like it's female. So this female's been at a distance for a while. This female has also had some things she needs to work on, some addictions and some struggles that she's been dealing with privately. So I'm definitely picking up on that. But it is like I'm hearing from the universe, it's time. It's time. Like it's either like now or never because things are going to change so fast that she's going to need her mama. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I do feel that same energy. I've never met the person, Sherry, but I do feel the same energy coming off of that person. So let me see really quick if she is indeed going to be coming towards you like intentionally. Yeah, she's making a big change. Looks like she's going to become more independent of her situation and want to start new with you.
Thank you, Susie. And Celeste for Pac-Man.
Your hard work is going to pay off. I feel like you've been very focused, very diligent. And sometimes when you're in the midst of doing the work, it can get tiring and overwhelming, but you're going to be rewarded for all of the hard work that you've been putting in. And it's not just in one area. I feel like there's several things that you've been being extra diligent and putting out more than you've gone above and beyond. That's the best way to put it. And you will reap good rewards for that.
There you go.
Can I
Pac-Man, you're
address to Lauderdale?
Lauderdale?
Mm-hmm. So, how about we skip the whole Powerball thing and just go right ahead and start manifesting that 40 acres?
Exactly.
So you just sit down and imagine those 40 acres, what it looks like, how green it is, what you're going to do with it, whether you're going to raise animals, plow it, grow trees, cattle, whatever you want. Imagine yourself out there working on that and being so happy. Fill it up with emotion like this is so amazing. This is so cool. The sun's warm on my back, and then forget about it. And that will draw it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doc would like confirmation on his manifestations. Celeste, Susie?
Would anyone like the reading from the cat? Apparently she is feeling
She's really into it tonight.
She's like totally staring at the screen. She's killing me. I feel like, and Susie can pull some cards too if you want, but I feel like, David, it's going to be a similar thing to Mr. Pac-Man. Very seldom do we focus and put our energy and our effort and everything into hard work and creation to have it blow up in our face, unless it is totally not supposed to be something for you. And I don't feel like you have ever been a person that was, what's the word I want? Selfish or self-serving. So I think that your manifestations are coming. Here's the part you want to remember. Sometimes we need to be open-minded because we think we know the best way. We know the smoothest way or the most beneficial way. And the universe is like, you're limiting that a little bit. And you get something more. And sometimes it's different, but you have planted all the seeds that are going to come to fruition.
And I also pick up, David, I mean, as soon as you got on there and asked, your end game is the rainbow unicorn. Okay. But you've got to stop interjecting worry into it. Like, when's it going to happen? Come on, I need it to come faster. And what if this and what if that? You got to stop doing that. See, even if it creeps in just a tiny bit, just stomp it out with a positive thought, because that's repellent energy towards your manifestations. But you already know this, so put it to practice.
Yeah. Doc, I think you do have a tendency to second guess yourself a little too much. Have faith in what you're doing, because what you're doing is phenomenal, and all the way around.
Yeah.
So,
if you guys just interject love and joy into the things that you do, the money will follow. Like, literally, this is fun, and every now and then I get paid for it. And that's just the cherry on top, right? So just do what you love to do, and the money will just come follow you right on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Or you just feed it to animals and they poop it out. I'm not quite sure.
I was going to say, here goes the Virgo over there.
The money will come and it will go as fast as it comes. It goes right to the barn and into the barnyard and into fertilizer. But anyway, they're fun. So yeah, I think you're right. I think if you guys have not seen Susie's readings for the week, please go and watch her shorts on this channel, YouTube channel. Yeah, Jess. Yeah, big pile of poo. Her readings are pretty good, and one of the things for the earth signs this week was to be grateful for what you do have. And it reframed my direction this morning, because I've been I'm trying not to be super stressed out about being furloughed right now, but I am stressed out because you're not getting a paycheck. But I know everything will just work out, and it's just I just gotta like have faith that it's going to
How
work
many
out.
times have we said that to you now?
I know, but it's really hard to wake up every day without a job and go, everything's going to be okay. Breathe, because I got 55 animals to feed. That's a lot of mouths to take care of. And and a lot of money that gets pooped out, and they have to keep eating. So,
You should put up a Facebook post for people that are just trying to get rid of their extra garden veg, because there's people that have way overgrown squashes that they could eat.
Yeah, there's only so much squash these goats will eat now. They are finally just kind of looking at me like, if you throw one more squash over, lady.
Is that why they were like, well, at least Seamus was like violent? I was giving them some corn tortillas and he's headbutting them and he's headbutting Murphy.
Oh my God, he was on fire today. Yeah. So I gave Celeste. So thankfully, I have a friend who does Mission tortillas, like sales and all that, and so I get a lot of their expired products, which are still good. The shelf life on this stuff is good for like months, but they can't sell them. So sometimes he delivers big cases and cases of tortillas. Oh my God! So you throw them like frisbees, and they just go running in every direction for these tortillas. And Seamus, he's kind of head honcho goat. Yeah, he's a handful, this boy, but it's okay.
He's food aggressive.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So anyway, I let her feed tortillas while I was feeding everybody else, and she was having a blast. So, yeah, I think, and Lauderdale out there, exactly what Susy said. So, 8 years ago, I bought this place, and I was in a position where I didn't think this was going to happen, but I was putting all my focus and intention into it. I've been through really, really, really rough part of my life. And oh boy, I went from a very violent ending to a marriage to being paralyzed from the neck down. Didn't think I could walk again, to kind of walking, to buying this place all in like a year. And it was, it's all I was doing was like, I'm going to walk so I can own this place. I can walk so I can own this place. You can manifest anything. I truly believe that. The only thing that is elusive to me is like that permanent, loving relationship. That one just goes every time I try to manifest it. But no, it's true. Put your thought and your intention. My problem is I want to put my thought and intention into something like that, but I don't want to leave my property to do it. It doesn't work so well.
And I have a bone to pick with you on your fire sign thing, because you must have meant all of the other
I was telling Celeste about your reading.
What happened? I don't even remember what I say. I watched them.
Something about a relationship getting back together.
Yeah. I'm like, not me.
It might be someone else. It might not be a lover.
I don't know, but it better not be.
I don't know, girl.
I'm giving them your
anyway.
Okay.
The whole anyway. Every time Susy does a reading, I'm like, boom, right on the Virgo part. I'm like, what is she telling me now? Because every time it's spot on.
I'm sorry I had to, combine them all. I just low energy from migraines. This weather kicks my trash.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It works. And so you guys go back to our shorts on the YouTube channel and look at Susy's readings for the week. So they're by air, fire, earth, water signs. So, but it's pretty interesting because I went to the Leo one because of Celeste. I'm like, oh, hey, Celeste. She's like, not on my watch. That was pretty funny. Anyway, you guys can reach out. And I didn't put up sorry. So let me put it up real quick. Here are their phone numbers. Please write them down on a piece of paper
You
for
know
the
what?
last
Just
minute.
because these idiots come back don't mean you got to take them. They can have that desire being
Right, right.
back to you. I'm serious because I just pulled on you, Celeste. He is seriously thinking like, boo-hoo, I done messed up, boo-hoo. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't got to deal with that crap. You don't got to take
No,
them.
because he's messed up several times and
That's his
it's
energy
never
he's
gotten
putting in.
better. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
No.
And
That's the energy he's putting out. I don't mean you got to put up with it. So there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys write down their phone numbers, please, and reach out to Celeste and Susie for private readings because this is what they can do for you. But they do it on a grand scale. And they're not giving you information on here that shouldn't be public because stuff
Yeah.
comes through on private readings that's very, very personal. And you don't want that out there ever. So if
I was gonna say one of these guys over here's ears should have been burning today. There's some information, but like I told Colleen, I said I'm not saying it online.
Is that why
No.
I just got fear? I just got afraid of you.
You got afraid of me? No, it wasn't you.
No, the person is afraid of you. I just picked up fear, like afraid of what you can do. What you can do to
Well, this is just, I've been seeing it coming for a while and have had this person say, oh, I need to get together with you. I want to get together with you, and hasn't. And I don't know if they see it coming also, or are hoping it's coming, or are afraid it's coming, or afraid it's not coming. But yeah, there's some just,
there's two people.
There's intense
here.
Yeah.
There's some intense information that is not public appropriate. And that's just in general. That's not just, this one person has something. In general, there are things that I won't say.
No, and so guys, absolutely reach out and to get a private reading because you will be mind blown. I've known Celeste for a very long time, and she never knew stuff that happened in my childhood that she pulled out during the reading, and it kind of shook me. So, reach out to them for a private reading. This is what they do for a living. You guys discuss the finances. We don't get involved here on the channel and any of that. But I can tell you, and I want to say thank you to everybody that comes on and watches these shows because we are at the monetization point, and it means a lot for us to keep moving forward on the channel. You guys have been supporting us from the start, and thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe, share. Even the lives stay up. We never take them down. So you can go back and watch some of the older lives and see some of their readings. We were a little bit more formatted, like 7 to 7:30 would be a discussion, and then we start the readings. We're not doing that anymore. We kind of mix it up. And you guys, you're awesome. Thank you for supporting us. And it grows every week. I look at the numbers when we get done, and it just grows every week. So thank you, Doc. And thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Tomorrow night we have our paranormal live on Thursday nights, and tomorrow night you never know what direction the show's going to go. But we're going to try to talk about conspiracy theories, but you never know if it will stay there, which is fine. We're just kind of like pretty random on the show, but it's usually kind of dark and it's a lot of fun. And like Jess says, a lot of shenanigans, which is the best way to have a show. So love you all. Be safe out there. Manifest what you want and you dream of and you desire. Give blessings back to the universe. Give thanks because, yeah. So, all right. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.